You want to put your headphones on.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
You're listening to Insight here on CAP Radio. I'm your host, Vicki Gonzalez. After 2 years and hundreds of hours of public testimonies across the state, California lawmakers are taking the findings from the state's reparations task force and crafting them into legislation. This task force is a first in the nation attempt to atone for the ongoing harm slavery has had on African Americans and society. The California Legislative Black Caucus has more than a dozen bills that are moving through the state capitol, but none at this moment includes cash payments to Black Californians who are descendants of slavery. In Sacramento, the Sheba Farms Foundation has been holding events over the past month to better understand what reparations could look like locally. And tonight at 5:30 p.m., they're going to be having a conversation at Sacramento State with 6 panelists that also includes former Sacramento Police Chief Daniel Hahn, moderator Zion Tedessa, and panelist Chris Lodgson with the Coalition for a Just and Equitable California. They join us now with more on how these ongoing events hope to shape policy at the state capitol. Good afternoon to you both. Thank you for taking the time.
Yes, good afternoon. Thank you, Vicki, for having us.
Thank you again. Zion, I want to start with you because you're the founder of Sheba Farms Foundation. How did this organization come about?
Yeah, so the mayor's office initiated this program for the city of Sacramento, not for the city, but at the office of the mayor.
The foundation that you're the founder
Oh, you're
of?
talking about
Yes,
the
yeah.
foundation? Sorry, I
Yes.
thought you were talking about the reparation. So the Sheba Farm Foundation was found because, as you know, I have Queen Sheba restaurant, and also, I'm trying to grow my food organically, my teff and my vegetable, because I have a lot of plant-based food customers, vegetarian and vegans. So how we found Sheba Farm Foundation is really to organize community, also educate community when it comes to the health and wellness of our community, also the safety of our community through food justice, social justice, environmental justice, and our economic justice.
How does these conversations and events that you've been hosting about reparations, how does that fit into your mission at Sheba Farms Foundation?
Yeah, so because Shiva Farm Foundation is all about community organization. How do we really support our community from grassroots? So I feel like, the city or the state is a little bit disconnected to the community that they serve. So we will be the bridge, people like us who's working on the underground, helping community, whether through food or through other things that what we do. So in that way, we can actually organize our community so our community can thrive. The youth can thrive, so we can actually create generational wealth for our community, especially for Black community.
Yeah, and as you touched upon in the very beginning, these events that you've been hosting, they're in collaboration with the mayor's office. Tell us about their role in this.
So the role in there is really to get the survey from especially for African American community. So this is really designed to support the African American community who's been here for over 400 years. Their ancestors already paid for it for free slavery. So right now they're initiating so we can actually create a program specifically for the needs and wants of the African American community, whether they need land or they need housing or healthcare or education or even job opportunity, business opportunity. We only like 2.7% of Black businesses in California. So we want to change that to at least 10-20%. So to do that, we really need the fund, the resources, and the support that we need, especially African American community, from whether city level or state level or federal level. There should be some fund invested into the community. So when African American community thrive, we all thrive. Every community thrives. So that's what I believe. So that's what I signed up for. That's what we are advocating for the better of, our community health and wellness and safety as well.
Yeah. All right, Chris, I want to get to you. Can you tell us about the organization that you're part of? It's Coalition for a Just and Equitable California. Wow. So the report that following 2 years of work and events, I mean, hundreds of hours of people testifying to the effects of slavery and how it's impacted Black Californians over generations. I mean, that report, I think, is over 1,000 pages. So you were a very engaged member in this from its inception to now. Hmm. Wow. And we're talking about statewide, but the conversation we're having specifically today is because there are local conversations taking place in Sacramento. How did that begin? What conversations were you having with Zion about having a series of local events in Sacramento?
Mm.
Hmm. Well, Zion, I mean, you've been hosting these events now for 4 weeks. There have been several. I mean, they span conversations with the community here about education, generational wealth, social and economic justice, healthcare, women's empowerment, food justice. I mean, we'll dive into the event tonight. But when you take a look back at these conversations you've had over the past 4 weeks, what have been your biggest takeaways?
So for me, the biggest takeaway is what the community wants and what the state or the city is investing is totally different thing. So this survey really an initiation to really know what the community really looking for. What are they when it comes to African American community? What is it they looking for when it comes to reparation? When it comes to the fund coming in, and instead of spending it on construction, what I heard from people is like empowerment, ownership, education, healthcare, especially for people who are really healthcare is how expensive it is, in the United States. Education, the proper education that the youth need, trading and training. Those are the kind of it is a good investment to the community, especially when it comes to in our community. There's so much food desert, so we need to have our own land to grow our food. So those kind of things, what they're looking for, like a sustainable change, and instead of just here is your fund or here is your money, but it has no value. So this program, I think, will do a specific program to change the way how our community is thriving, because we're really not thriving right now as a Black community. So this will really give the community to push us into the next level, and that so create that generational wealth that has not been to me it should have been that long time ago, the reparation. But now that's where we are right now at the city level and state level. That's what we are advocating. And for me, as a community person, being here for 20 years, serving Queen Shiva restaurant, I am so connected to the community that I'm serving, especially Sacramento community. So I think this is such an amazing initiation for, especially for the people who needs it, they really desperately. So in that way, everyone can thrive. Every community can thrive accordingly, because this is America. So it's about time.
Well, let's get to the event tonight. It's going to
Yes.
be 5:30 p.m., 5:30 to 7 p.m. at Sacramento State on campus. This is an in-person event. It's open to the public. It's free, correct?
Yes.
To attend?
Yes.
What do you want people to know about it?
So this was done by the Africa House Foundation. So they have a 3 days event going on from today all the way to probably tomorrow too. So I'm collaborating with them to put the voice out there, also to reach out community, not just African American community. Everybody needs to put their voice out there to say how would they would like to see this program being created, and instead of the city or the city just assuming this is what you want, this is the program you want. But this time they're really giving us the power to really create those programs from grassroots. So that's what we will be talking. Me and Mariana will be the, moderating, and Chris will be there to explain. Professor Uwazi, he's a criminal justice at the Sac State. As you know, we're fighting for criminal justice policy to social justice, the basic necessary things for any human being, the access to nutrition food, access to housing, access to good job opportunity, access to healthcare. So those are the accesses we're fighting for our community here in Sacramento. I tell people, I'm only fighting for Sacramento. I'm here. So if our community thrives, Sacramento thrives, we all thrive.
And the title of tonight's event is Food, Social, Economic, and Environmental Justice.
Yes.
As Zion mentioned, Chris, you are one of the panelists. There'll be 6 panelists this evening. What do you hope people take away from this conversation? You're listening to Insight here on CAP Radio, and if you're just joining us, we're talking with Zion Tedessa and Chris Lodgson about their event at Sac State. It's happening tonight at 5:30 p.m., and they are discussing what reparations could look like for Sacramento. Chris, since you really have this statewide look, you've been there since, this was just a bill, before it became a law, before it became a task force, before it became a report, before it became recommendations, which is now shaping into legislation. The California Legislative Black Caucus, they have more than a dozen bills moving through the state capitol. Are you satisfied with this first round of legislation? When you are having these conversations with the caucus and expressing your dissatisfaction with the first round of legislations overall, what is the big message, the big response that you get from the caucus as to why they're leading with this package of bills?
Mhm.
Eh, right. Yeah. Well, Chris, we are still in the thick of this, so I hope you join us again on Insight as we continue to follow this. And Zion, as always, it's nice to see you.
Good to see you too, Vicky. Thank you for having us. Yeah, keep on bringing us. The most important thing that Chris said, they need to fill out that survey. Otherwise, the city or the state are not going to know what we really want. So that survey is the most important thing for every Black or African American to fill that out. Especially African Americans need to fill that out as soon as possible. So the mayor's office will get that survey, and then they will have some statistics where we can spend the funds once they decide to do that.
And we do have a link to that survey on our Insight page. It is up live right now.
Yes.
Zion Tedessa is the founder of Sheba Farms Foundation and has been
Yes.
holding events over the past month to better understand what reparations could look like locally here in Sacramento. Tonight at 5:30 p.m., there is going to be a wide-ranging conversation at Sacramento State with 6 panelists, including Chris Lodgson with the Coalition for a Just and Equitable California. We also have more information about the event on our Insight page. You're listening to Insight here on Cap Radio. I'm your host, Vicki Gonzalez. We're back in just a moment.
Thank you. Thank you, Vicky. I appreciate you, dear.
Okay.
Thank you so much,
Thank you. Thank
Zion.
you.
Yes.
It's
Thank
gonna
you.
be-
Thank you.
A great event.
Yes.
Keep in touch.
I will. Keep bringing me.
Yeah.
Yes, I'll come. Once you tell me to come, I'll be here.
Good.
Thank you, dear. I appreciate you all the work you do
We
too.
appreciate you as well.
Yes.
I'll walk you out.
We got Sacramento.
Okay.
We gotta
You can
put
come
our
on in.
voice out there.
We'll just swap